Hi everyone, I'm Maeve. I have to do my formal introduction, which I always feel silly with my live people because they know who I am. But hi, I'm Maeve. We're working hips today. You're going to feel so good when it's done. That's my hopeful guarantee. You're going to start like this, but I'm going to turn this way just so I can give you a little better angle. Cross your right ankle to your left knee, and then come off onto your right hip a little bit. And we're just going to kind of roll around on our hip, getting the muscle into the ground. This is like foam rolling before there was foam rollers. So just kind of pushing your hip muscles into the ground, your booty. And you can pick up this other leg, so both legs are up if you want. It's going to be a little bit more work, but it's going to give you a little more weight. And you might find like an area that needs to get a little bit of attention. You can kind of hang in there. Of course, you can use a foam roller if you have a foam roller, but I'm going to go on the assumption that not everyone does. And so this is a great way to get into these muscles without actually having a roller. And then we're going to settle in the center. Maybe this foot comes in a little closer, and then lift the chest, broaden across the collarbones. Gently push the shin, the ankle, the knee forward. Gently. Ease up on it, and we'll switch sides. We're going to do the same thing. Come off onto your hip a little bit, and just kind of roll your hip across the floor. And when I say hip, it's the muscles of your hip. You're not using the floor against the bone. It's the glute muscles. So the outer hip, the big muscles, glute max, min, all in here. You can even come sort of like toward the sitting bone and get up in there. If you want to pick up your leg, you can. I'm a little sore right now, so I especially feel this. Few more breaths here. Because we are all put together differently and our hips are very different. This is really interesting actually. When I was in one of my teacher trainings, we looked at x-rays of hips and how the femur sits in the hip socket, and on different people how very, very different our hips are. And so it's not one size fits all, as all things in this practice, the physical posture or just in general. Come through center, broaden the collarbones. So as we are working through different, I don't even want to call them postures. Sometimes they're postures, but positions. Let's just call them positions. You can always explore, change, make it whatever you need it to be, because what I feel is not going to be what you feel necessarily. Like, we might feel some things similarly, some things the same, but there's going to be things that we can't all possibly feel the same way. Good. Release that. And then come onto your hands and your knees. And right leg is going to go straight out to the right side. Place the foot down, and then pull your toes back to your heel. Push into the pinky side of your foot a little bit. So really kind of get that foot down, and then eyeball your foot. And as you push into the pinky side of the foot, as you pull the toes back toward the heel, your arch still starts to build up a little bit. So I want you to build the arch up quite a bit. Not like you're not trying to purposely tent the arch. You're just keeping it active. You're building some strength there. And then we're going to go back and front. Working in the hips and working in the shoulders. There's such a complex joint. There's a lot of different ways to hit them. So we'll try to get each sort of direction for the hip as best we can. And for some of us, we need more on one side than the other. We're just going to do the whole thing-ish as best we can. Come back into center. Right leg is going to go back. So now lift the leg. Activate the glute. Bend the knee. If it feels good, you're going to reach the left hand back and take the foot. Now here's something to think about. The more that I don't use my hand, the more that I work the leg alone, I'm going to get more stretch in the front of the hip here. If I take the hand, I can passively do that, or I can actively do it without the hand. Both are correct, both are good. If I take the foot and then push away, I'm going to get some shoulder, and if I squeeze my right cheek a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit more hip, but I'm going to definitely then share the work between the shoulder and the hip. So it's your choice how you want this to feel. Explore it. That was a long way of saying, like, there's a lot of little nuances here. Figure out what you need. Open back up. Release the hand down. Keep this right leg up. Tuck the left toes, three-legged dog. Left heel stays really heavy. And then open the hips if it feels good. Bend the right knee if it feels good. And right foot comes forward. Left knee gently to the floor. Pad your knee if you need to. Anjaneyasana, rising up. Okay, so instead of just collapsing down here into the hips, push into the front foot, engage the left hip, lift the pubic bone lightly, lift the front hip point slightly, and then with this front leg strong, with that front foot pushing down, when you drop forward, you can only go so far. So I can only go that far. Whereas if I don't do those things, I can go way down here, which isn't necessarily good for you. So really strong, engage, and then sink. It's going to be pretty small. Right arm's going to drop at your right side, left arm's going to reach up and over. Really nice. Come back up. Start to straighten the right leg, but we're not straightening it all the way. So keep it bent, shift your hips back, dig your right heel down, and kind of pull the right heel toward the back of the mat, and you should get a little bit of activation through here. Rebound the leg, take the left hand pretty far forward. Come onto the pinky side of your left foot, turn your right toes. You can move your right foot back toward your left foot a little bit. And then lift up, please, by pressing the feet down. Reach up overhead. And then softly, slowly start to lower the hips down and hang in here. So my left hip is not fully down. It's a little bit suspended, and that's giving me kind of like a sling on the left side of my body. And then maybe drop a little deeper. Really nice press. Turn your right toes forward. I'm going to use a block. Right hand on a block or on the floor. Ardha Chandrasana, opening up. Guide your right thigh from your right foot. You guide your left thigh from your left foot. Bend your right knee. Bring your left knee behind your right leg. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Sit all the way down. Okay, so options here that I always forget to give until it's too late, and I'll think of it on the second side. Your right foot can be in front of your left knee. It can even be on the right side of your left shin. So it doesn't have to come around. Find where you're happiest. Now, in relation to our hips, I like to hug this right knee up, get a little lengthening here, and then my twist is pretty subtle. Pretty subtle. Really good. Good. Unravel this. Come through center. Tap the toes down. Stretch the arms forward. Hold your thighs if you prefer. Lift the shins up. Back to hands and knees. left leg out to the left side. Press your foot down, build the arch of the foot by pulling the toes toward the heel. We did a lot before, right? So we have to go back and do it all. Forward and back a little bit. Come back into center, left leg sweeps back. Extend, so lift the leg up from the hip, lift it up. You don't have to change anything. This is amazing. If I really work my leg straight and lift it, I'm getting work in my hip. I'm getting a little bit of a stretch in the front of the hip even. If you want, you can bend the knee without changing anything. If you want, the right arm goes forward, or if you want, the right arm goes back, catches the foot. And then you play with sensation here. Open back up, inhale. And release the right hand down, tuck the right toes, three-legged dog. Keep the right heel heavy, open the hips if it's nice, and then bend the knee if you like. And you're not just floppy the leg here. If you're bending the knee, you're bending the knee with power. So pulling the heel toward the hip, moving the thigh back in space. Step your left foot, top of the mat. Right knee down, Anjaneyasana, inhale. Same thing here. There's a drawing back in the belly. There's a pushing into the front foot. There's an engagement in this hip. There's a pressure down in that back shin foot knee. And from that place, when you sink forward, it's not very big. Like, you probably don't even really see it. It's just this little subtle movement forward. And it's pretty intense on my body. Left arm down, right arm up and over. I guess I should explain a little more why I prefer this over just collapsing here, is that we are strengthening and lengthening at the same time, which is so important for our body. Come back up to center, start to bend the front knee, but don't straighten it all the way. Push the heel down and pull it toward the back of the mat. As opposed to just sinking the hips forward and hanging in our joint, where we're basically like, think of like a sleeping child, like in your arms, like, ugh, they weigh like a ton, right? But then if they're awake, they're a little bit like more like they can wrap their legs around you, they can squeeze onto you. It's easier to carry them sometimes. Good. Shift forward, right hand reaches pretty far forward. Pinky side of the right foot, you can slide the left foot back as much as you need to. Push to lift up. Slowly, carefully start to lower the hips toward the floor. And I'm not going to drop my hip all the way down initially. I'm going to really stay strong in this right shoulder and have like a little bit of a sling here. And then maybe the hip starts to come down. So this side, for me, my right side in this position is much more lengthened. My left side is a lot tighter. So I don't get quite as much feedback here. Just notice that from side to side. On the other side, it was much easier for me to have my hip up because I had a lot of feedback of tension there. Come back around. Square off your foot. Ardha Chandrasana. So guide the left thigh bone from the foot, pressing down. Notice when you change the shift of energy or balance of the foot, what that does to the hip. Really nice. And then bend your legs. Bring this right knee behind your left leg, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Drawing this left thigh up and across. The twist to me here is very much secondary. Last inhale. Come back into center. Hands come behind. Put your big toes down. Just center yourself. Hold the backs of the thighs if you want, or reach the arms forward. I really don't have a preference. Kick the shins up. Maybe straighten the legs. Broaden across the chest. Cross your shins, plank inhale. Breath in, breath out. Stay here. Breath in, breath out. Breath in. Exhale, pull the ground toward you. Use your knees, use your hips as needed to lower down. Shalabhasana. Stretch the feet back, stretch the hands back. Lift, lift, lift. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees, look at your hands, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale halfway. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, rise. Hands to your heart, exhale. Simple breath, simple movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Right foot steps back, exhale. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hands down. Plank, inhale. To the floor, exhale. Cobra, inhale. Tops of the feet press down. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right leg back, inhale. Right foot forward, exhale. Crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Crescent lunge is very much like Anjaneyasana. Halfway inhale, fold, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. So all those contact points and the cueing I gave you for Anjaneyasana. Inhale halfway, left foot steps back, apply here in crescent. It's just that your knee is lifted instead of down. Exhale, hands down. Plank, inhale. To your belly. Cobra, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, left leg back. Left foot forward. Crescent, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Halfway. Bow. Rise, inhale. Hands to your heart, exhale. Really beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway, inhale. Plank, exhale. Inhale, chaturanga or the ground. Cobra or up dog or shalabhasana. Down dog, exhale. Draw the belly up gently, the ribs draw up gently. Heels high, inhale. Bend your knees, look at your hands, look where you're going, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Bow down, exhale. Rise, reach. Close the circle, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale, or your version. Rise, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Inhale to your toes. Bend your knees, feet to hands. Inhale halfway. Bow, exhale. Inhale, rise. Hands to heart. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Forward fold. Halfway inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, open. Down dog, exhale. Inhale to your toes. Bend your knees, feet to hands. Halfway. Bow. Rise to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Bow forward. Halfway inhale. Right foot back, exhale. Inhale, crescent. Stay here, left hand to right wrist. Side bend left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to the ground. Plank inhale all the way to your belly. Bend your knees, take your arms out to the side, lift your legs, lift your thighs, pull your feet toward the back of your head, lift your chest, lift your elbows, down dog. Right leg back, inhale. Right foot forward, exhale. Crescent, inhale. Stay here, hands, floor, or blocks. Straighten the front leg any amount. Rebend your front leg, stretch your left hand forward, pinky side of the left foot. Turn your right toes to the right, sink the hips. And then lift up. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, Chapasana if you'd like. Bending that top knee, finding the foot. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Bring the hand around, knee comes down, twist it. Really nice. Stay here or slide this right knee across and bring that left foot forward. I'm a little bit on an angle, you will be too. And Gomukhasana legs. So you have your choices. You don't have to come here, like if this doesn't work for you, leave it off. Maybe take that torso forward a little bit. Let's get this outer right hip. Inhale, rise up. Unravel the legs. Find your big toes, take them, and then you don't have to straighten your legs, but push the feet away. Navasana with this nice connection here. Pushing, pushing, that's going to help lift you up. It actually takes almost all the work out of your hip flexors, almost, and your abdominals, and really just kind of gives you a nice lift of the heart and a hamstring stretch. Now, you might not feel the same way, but I hope. One more inhale. Take your knees wide. Take your hands to your inner ankles. Seated happy baby. So you're pushing your feet forward. Same thing that you just did. You just have a different grip and your knees are bent. Pull back with the arms. Push away with your feet so you find this balance. So nice. You might need to square yourself off. You might need a couple of rocks here. You might need to just roll to your side and come here in a different way. But we're coming to Malasana. So bring the feet down. I'm just going to square myself off. And we're here. And if it feels good, you can move a little bit in it. However you like. Last inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale halfway. Left foot steps back, exhale. Crescent lunge, inhale. Take your right hand to your left wrist. Reach up and over to the right. Inhale, rise up. Hands to the ground. Plank, inhale. To the ground, exhale. Bend your knees, pull your feet toward the back of your head, lift your knees, lift your thighs, lift your elbows out to the side, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Guess what? We're lifting. Down dog, exhale. Left leg, inhale back. Left foot forward. Crescent, inhale. Hands come down, exhale. Straighten the front leg any amount, inhale. Rebend the knee. Right hand reaches forward. Turn the toes to the left, sink. And then rise. Come around, Ardha Chandra Chapasana, optional. I have to move over so I've got room. Come around, Ardha Matsyendrasana. So you can stay here or Gomukhasana. Sliding that left foot knee on top, right foot kind of kicks out to the left any amount. Beautiful. Maybe shift the spine forward. Inhale, rise up, unravel. Navasana, taking the big toes, pushing the feet forward, lifting the chest. Maybe the legs straighten, but they don't have to. Awesome. Bend the knees, slide your hands to your inner heels, seated happy baby. So you can stay here, you can come into Baddha Konasana. There's a lot of things that you could do here. I'm going to let you have a moment to explore. I'm going to try to work, I'm going to say try because I'm like, I don't know if I got it in me today, but Titibasana, firefly from seated, which is pretty hard because you don't have a lot of leverage. So you're welcome to come with me and I'll talk you through it. I'm going to start to work my shoulders inside my knees. I'm going to rock forward. Oh, it's going to take a few rocks, I think. I don't know if I got it today, y'all. Ooh. Ay, ay, ay. Let's get a little higher here. There she blows. And then we lift off. And then the legs are squeezing in, extending. We're going to meet in Malasana. Beautiful. Really nice. And then if you have blocks, I would suggest having them handy. And forward fold. Right foot's going to step outside of one block or outside of your right hand. Left foot's coming back. We're in this nice, big, deep lunge here. Okay. So arms straight to start. I will give you the option momentarily to come down onto your forearms. But kind of eyeball this right shin and see if you can get your shin perpendicular to the floor, the knee right on top of your heel. And then back leg is powering up. We're going to put the knee down in a moment also. So this won't last forever. Arms are strong, shoulders are strong. Left hip is engaging. Right foot's gently pushing down and dragging toward the back of the mat. And when you do that, you get a little bit of sensation here. Hopefully you feel the same thing. Last breath here. Left knee comes down. Option to take this right foot wider. Option to come down on forearms with the blocks or without the blocks. And then if you want, I'm getting blinded by the sun here, you can reach back and take your foot. I have to fix that. Okay. So much better. I couldn't see. Last breath. Release if you have the foot. Blocks are so great here. You can keep your foot wide. You can keep your leg wide, straightening the front leg, Ardha Hanumanasana. If you like to have the leg a little more square, bring it in. If you want to extend the leg out, whether it's square or not, go for it. And you can play with that. Notice sensation, notice your breath, notice your thoughts. If you're extended in the right leg, draw it back carefully. Front knee bends. Standing splits come forward. Stay here, or if you'd like to take a couple hops here for handstand, go for it. Hi, Lulu. I set up your towel. Come here. This is why I have a towel out in case she wants to come. Malasana. There you go. Right here. And forward fold. Left foot outside your left hand, right foot back. And we've got this nice lunge supported with the blocks or not. Hi. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you. All right, we're going to take this a little lower. Knee can come down, forearms can come down if you like. If you want to take the left foot wider, turn the knee and the toes open, or if you want to bend if you want to bend the back leg, take the foot with the left hand, you can. You can also bend the leg and not take the foot. And release the foot. Hanumanasana in some form. Half. High heel. Maybe take the leg forward. So Lulu has no comprehension that I am on Zoom or that I am recording a class and talking to people. So anytime I'm talking, I think she makes the assumption that I'm talking to her. Huh. Am I talking to you? She's like, who could you be talking to otherwise? We have a few more breaths here. We'll make the transition if you're in an extended Hanumanasana to bring that leg back. Rebend the front leg, standing splits, or if you want handstands, go for it. Or if you want to pick up your chubby cat and give them a squeeze, that's optional too. And Malasana. Really nice. This time rise all the way up. And then step wide on your mat. So good. Okay, so in Prasarita, Padottanasana, the feet, and then way back in the beginning of class, we had hands and knees, leg out to the side, and we built the arch of the foot up. Do that now. So gently pull the base of the big toe back toward the heel, push the pinky side down, but also feel like the big toe is pressing down so that your foot is super, super active. Same sensation, kind of same leg. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come forward. Keep the legs strong, keep the feet doing that same action. Inhale halfway and bow forward. If you are a headstander and you would like to get an inversion here, go for it. If you lifted for headstand, use the next 2 breaths to come back down. Inhale, lengthen halfway, heels and toes open. Knees bend, arms to your inner thighs, and just rock a little side to side. Now you can stay here, a little pressure on the inner knee, getting the inner thighs. Or if you want, you can deepen this and start to move through this in the middle and then into Skandasana. You might need to adjust the width of your feet. Play with it. You can always use your hands on the ground or on blocks to give yourself more support. Meet back in the center. Square off your feet and then just bring the feet in toward each other. Walk the feet back a bit and then take your knees down to the ground. Really nice. Come through cross-legged or double pigeon. And then just maybe tip the torso forward a little bit. I think I didn't time my music appropriately. It's an easy fix. Or maybe not so easy. I got a little cocky there. Inhale, rise up. Switch. I think I thought I was more proficient on my watch than I really am. The silence is okay. One of the reasons I play music during Shavasana, one, to block out any background noise, but two, so that when we're here, you don't think I've forgotten about you. Or even in person, sometimes I think that when it's so quiet in Shavasana, you're like, did I just fall asleep and everybody else left? And I feel like having background lets you know that I'm still here. So I'm still here. Rise up. Set yourself up for Shavasana, or if you would like to sit, I'm going to stay seated as we finish, and I will make sure that you know that I'm here so that you don't think that you fell asleep and I logged off and you just were left to the wolves. Allow your breath to soften. Take in how you feel. Allow this practice to settle in your body, to settle in your brain, to become part of you. And I don't know if I articulate that well enough usually, is that this moment of still and quiet at the end is to receive, to make this part of you. I'm still here. If you have the time, stay here as long as you'd like. If you need to finish, you'll start to deepen your breath. You'll bring awareness back into your body, to your thoughts. And then you'll gently make your way to sitting, if you're not already there. One of my mentors told me years ago that when we smell things, it becomes part of our DNA, which of course didn't sit well with me. But I thought of that when I was saying how in this moment we're taking in our practice and we're making it part of us, like make it part of you. And this is stuff that we pass on, right? It's make it part of you so that it's something that you pass on, you know? Yeah, I know you know. It's better than smelling something terrible and that becomes part of your DNA. This is like good. Inhale, bring your hands to your heart and bow your mind gently to your heart. Honor yourself for being here. Honor who you are, what you contribute to the world. Rise, eyes open gently. Thanks for your practice. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful day. I hope your hips feel really, really good. I'm going to give you a little sound bite of Lulu.